All right. Good morning, everyone. How we doing? Good morning. Good morning. Happy Thursday. Good morning, Rich, Matt, Pratik. Good morning. Good morning. Okay. Jeff, Mike, good morning. Yesterday ended up catching, let's see, did not trade FOMC, but we pretty much nailed the low for the session. What I had talked about during the live stream yesterday was the bounce versus the overnight low, the prior day low, I think it was, or prior day high, excuse me. That ended up being a very, very nice entry. Caught that, nothing crazy, just for I think it was maybe 30 points or something like that. Just a little scalp. Put some green on the board for the day. That was it from yesterday. Just one for one. So this morning, FOMC pretty uneventful, right? Let's look at that really quick. Not a lot of activity there. I mean, you have really big volume per usual, but look at the action. It does not even break the day's range until after hours with earnings. So that's a super uneventful FOMC right there. Look at this, just garbage. Garbage action for FOMC anyway. Now, this morning, let's kind of recap where we're at. So Tuesday triggered the break of the multi-month resistance at 26K. You get the break. Here's target. That was target for that move, all-time high zone. That gets tested and sellers step in right there. Yesterday around the close, you actually have a retest down into 26K, and that gets pretty much immediately absorbed. And then the overnight session is just trading sideways. Just sideways. So we potentially have the making of a new near-term range here, 26K by, call it, 26,350, 26,400. What I'm looking at for today primarily is prior day range. Number one, I want to see if price can even leave that prior day range. For positioning, I do like overnight low. Be watching that overnight low. That's kind of the nearest reference point that I really like right here. So we'll see if any sort of spring setup materializes there near 85. Otherwise, if we see this kind of sell action continue, we'll be watching down into this area, 26K prior day low. So we'll see a bounce from here, like off the open, a bounce. Not my favorite, makes it tough to position for. I would probably need like an extension above overnight high, prior day high, and then some sort of structure up in that area. So we'll see. We'll see how this open unfolds. Let's take a look. Do we have 10 a.m. data today? No 10 a.m. data. And really quick, what's on deck for tomorrow? Tomorrow's PPI. So that could be a heavy one. We'll see. Here comes the open. There's your open. Anyone have issues with Trinovate this morning? Any Trinovate issues out there? Hopefully not. All clear. Good deal. Pratik. Speedster from '06. How often do you go live and what is it that you do? I go live every day and I trade. Jacob, all good. B link, no issues. Okay. Okay. So Trade Ovade is dialed in. Good deal. Did anyone have any adverse impact from the Trade Ovade outage other than being unable to trade? For me, it's all good. No issues. So good volume right off the open. And this is all no man's land. So I'm just sitting patient. Some fresh lows. So we're watching overnight low. Got silver just continues. Silver and gold, insane. Unbelievable. Some of those moves. So it looks like that overnight low kind of aligns with the weekly volume point of control as well. No gap on the 5-minute RTH. D-Well took a significant loss on silver. Yeah, that thing's insane. Got to be careful with those parabolic. That's a crazy one. Gold as well. Got to be ultra careful. Big volatility in those metals lately. So Nasdaq 110. Here comes that weekly profile, weekly volume point of control. And let's see, overnight low getting pretty close. See if any volume starts to come in. Past couple of minutes, just average. So there's your first look beneath. Reset that chart. There we go. And it just flushes. Just flushes. It's a 26K. The downside pivot. I remember. Let's flip back to daily chart. There's massive, previously massive resistance all through there. This 26K area. So spring idea did not materialize, and we'll see if 26K offers any sort of bounce, or if this thing's gonna flush that prior day low. D-Well feels like they're no longer metals, but crypto tokens. Yeah, it's an absolutely insane move. Definitely historic. I'm surprised we haven't heard of any larger firms blowing up, getting liquidated. Because usually with moves like that, you'll start to see those headlines. But personally, I haven't seen anything yet. So here comes 26K prior day low area. Next zone to focus on. What's our actual prior day low level? 993. Okay. So a little bit of a bounce there so far. See if we get a cleaner entry. A little doji on the 1 minute so far. D-Well says I have a good track record shorting Tesla. And I haven't traded Tesla in years and years. Session volume point of control shifts lower. So you got a lot of volume through price being done down here. Back into the lows. We're watching 26K prior day low. They're basically overlapping. give or take a few points. Volume would be helpful. Slightly above average right now. We like the 2x, the 3x. Gabe says long only. Heck yeah, man. Now we're talking. All right, here's 26K. First test of 26K and prior day low. So do we see a sweep of the prior day low? The PDL. PDL sweep then bounce, or is this thing just going to flush right here? Let's see. We still have 15 minutes till 10 a.m. So time would certainly help out. Time of day, 10 a.m. RT. Volume definitely not helping that reversal idea. And there's your prior day low. So now watch for the spring. So far, nothing. Yeah, maybe a hands off till 10. Hands off till 10 after that. Let's see this next 2 minutes. There's the volume coming in. So that looks much better. And basically, if that's going to be it, you would want the current low to be holding. And it just flushes it. So I gave it 2 attempts through there, both stops, 2 full stops right there. So now I got to wait till 10 a.m. Had to try it though. I have good edge in that opportunity. D-Wall long only is a good approach and filter. Heck yeah, man. Fatigue strong flushes, 2 stops for me too. Yeah, it's a good spot. I'm not mad about that. That's what I call a good stop. Just because a trade fails does not mean it was a bad trade, right? Gabe, 1 full stop, did not get right back in per my rules. Nice. Good discipline. And we're down into the next zone here. 900 area. So at this point, I got to wait for 10 a.m., 10 a.m. RT, or an intraday change of character. But yeah, we may start to see the structure shift. Near term structure begins to shift. Last week's highs down near 850, 25, 850. Current spot where price currently is kind of 935 areas is the current week's value area low. And we do have a pivot right through this area, but time of day kind of dictating what I do here. Here's the volume coming in. That looks much better. There it is. What is this song? There we go. Let's see how this 5 minute closes. Currently shaped like a hammer. 2 minutes to go on that 5 minute. And so far, value area low holding nicely for the week. There's a weekly value area low. Got a key higher time frame pivot right in that area. So I do like action above prior day low, reclaim of that prior day low 26K zone with an entry. We'll see if this ends up getting rejected here or we're reclaimed and then some sort of market structure to work with. There's 26K retesting. Volume point of control shifts a little lower. Volume on the session is much better now. Good to see the zone respond in that way, even without any exposure there. That's a retest and reject so far. So 10 minutes till 10 a.m. Sellers are going to be targeting the session low. Do you walk out the 950 long? Nice, man. Well done. NASDAQ 940s, 935. So if you shorted 26K, prior day low, retest and reject is your target zone back into session lows, that 930 area. Probably one of the easier opportunities of the morning so far. That's short. The little retest, weekly value area low. So I like this spot post 10 a.m. We'll see where we're at. We still have 7 minutes. 7 minutes till 10. No data. Anyone nail that short? That 26K short? There's your new low of day, NASDAQ. See what ES is doing. ES pretty much mirroring NASDAQ here. Rich says I got it, but it wasn't pretty. Yeah, I've been there before, man. I know what that is like. Volume point of control shifts lower, 943. Gabe Daily gold. Nice work, man. Nice bounce back. Well done. Well done. So let's see if this ends up being a little intraday spring setup. Versus our key zone, right? Basically 910 by 930. And then weekly value area low. Mike says I got the short from overnight low to prior day low. Nice. Nice work, Mike. Let's take a look at an intraday fib. How many points is this so far today? 270 points already this morning. A pretty sizable move. Make sure anytime we have action like this, make sure you double check width of the structures that you're getting involved with, right? Very easy to kind of underestimate the amount of risk that is being put on. ES is bouncing as well versus prior day low. Shallow fib sits at about 70. Let's dip into the 30-minute. There we go. And let's see that 15 as well. Time 3 till 10. And now it's right back into session lows. So trend lower continues today. As we get into 10 a.m., with 10 a.m., we want to see if there's going to be any reversal or if there's just going to be a sell it all sort of day. See you, Gabe. Fresh lows. ES about to follow suit. Oh, Gabe, if you're still here, I just saw your trade in the tank. Nice work. That's a beautiful trade right there. Heck yeah. NASDAQ puking. Last week's high coming up. That's that next downside zone as we get into 10 a.m. Big move so far this morning. We're talking about what, 310 points. NQ more than a 1% move in 30 minutes. Okay, there's 10 a.m. No data. 15-minute just bearish off the open. 30-minute big sell bar. Hourly big sell bar. Look at that. That's a big 30-minute candle. Yeah. Yeah. Heck yeah, man. Let's see. So let's see how much of this week's rally from Sunday's low it's already retraced. There you go. So it's about 50% with last week's high being tested. We have massive volume coming in now. Almost the highest volume of the sesh. So this 850 area is definitely a spot to watch. Getting back into some structure from last week. Last week's volume point of control is down at basically 700. Yeah, same page, 700. Let's check out ES. Look at that. ES getting into last week's volume point of control as well. And let's see just for fun, see the retrace of the rally so far this week. Yeah, it's basically fib buy zone. Fib buy zone on both ES and NQ. Good volume coming in. Down back into the range. Yeah, we never made an all-time high. We never saw a price make a true all-time high for NASDAQ. The all-time high was at 400. So the intermediate term neutral backdrop remains. And for me, looking for longs, I have to stay patient right now. I got to stay ultra patient, especially after a couple stops already this morning. That's the market giving me immediate feedback saying, hey, stop that. Fresh lows, 760, 25, 760. NASDAQ. So far, it looks like maybe one green 5-minute candle today. Yep. From the 930 area. I mean, this has basically been not including last Tuesday. It's just been like 6, 7 sessions in a row higher from Wednesday, January 21st until yesterday. Big rally. Big rally. All right, so price back into this area. See if there's any sort of sustained bounce from here. It's a 61% fib from, again, that's from Sunday's low up into Wednesday's high. Massive volume. D-Wall's looking at 700 as well. Yeah, a little bit lower. If we see a reclaim through the 830 zone through last week's high, I'll look for some structure-based entries. Otherwise, just chilling right now. Staying patient. Critique need a change of character. Yep. Same page. Would agree with that. RTY session lows. Let's see what YM is doing. YM near the lows as well. Okay. So volume point of control for the sesh has just shifted down here. Mike monthly VWAP at 700. All right, that's good info. Let's see. See that monthly. Yeah, so volume point of control is right in that same area as well. For January, 712, 715. May as well just call it 700. Some consolidation right here. D-Wall, nice trades. I just saw those executions you posted, man. Very good precision. Dialed in. Dialed in, Mr. D-Wall. So NQ rolling over versus that 830 zone. So notice the downside momentum has definitely slowed, right? It's just been past 5 to 10 minutes has just been sideways here. When you contrast that with this sort of action, it's definitely a shift. If we can see price above 830, 25 830, 25 825 area, then with some sort of entry, that would definitely have my interest. There's a retest into that 830 area. Also, note the volume right now is just massive. So, volume's very, very good. And what is that? 830 rejection right there. Yes, sir, D-Wall. Although I think my point of control is a little bit higher than yours for the month. Yeah, I'm showing 715 for January. Let's maybe look at an hourly chart. Oh, okay. Shifts lower on the hourly. Slightly different calculation there. But nonetheless, should be in that 700 zone. NASDAQ retesting the lows. There you go. New low of day. 730, 725. Yeah, 700 coming right up. So that's already a 61% retracement from this week's rally. That was from the Sunday low. Look at that. It's like taking the stairs up and the elevator just straight down. Stairs up, elevator down. Shorts love that. Yeah, they do. Yes, they do. Do well, I like elevators more. I was surprised. Well, you were along the 750. I was going to say I was surprised you weren't short the 26K D wall. About 45 minutes into the sesh. How's everyone's morning so far? So far, red day on my end. Red day with no rush to recover that given the current action here. B-Link 1 for 2, $5 green. Hey, that's a win right there. PJ Small red. All good. Dom recovered the stop from earlier. Small green. Nice work, Dom. Matt Green in 3 of 4 accounts, red in the other. Nice. Oh, that's what I like to see, Jeff. 0 for 1, but staying patient. Would have revenged months ago, but learning patience here. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Yeah, revenge trading is an account killer for sure. Mike, nicely green. Well done. So NQ, a little bit of a bounce. Not quite into the 700, but pretty close. Session low is 718. Now, I'll still look for some action above 825, 830. If price can get there. But like I've said a few times, absolutely no rush to fight this downward move, especially as someone who focuses on longs. You got to recognize when the action is not favorable to what you do. May get that second green 5-minute candle of the entire session here in about 30 seconds. Yeah, so that's the second green 5-minute closure of the sesh this morning. And this next bar show follow through. Okay, that's looking better. That is definitely looking better. We still have amazing volume this morning. Back into 800. That's a nice push. Let's see, 825, 830 area. Another little rejection right there. Just kind of solidifies the importance of this area. NASDAQ. That's right. Okay, do we get the structure shift right here? Do we get it? Let's see. It's that 825 area, kind of the area to watch. 825, 830. ES structure is mirroring what we see in NQ here. RTY actually gave a very nice overnight low spring setup. Love to see that. And YM is just consolidating. Particularly if we do, it's awfully slow now. Yeah, it's valid. Volume is still really good though. It's what's kind of keeping my interest here. So a little consolidation right at volume point of control. 30-minute closure in 3.5 minutes. Yeah, 30-minute hammer right here would be amazing. Let's see. Here's a retest at 825. And reject. Retest, reject. It's like a wall there at 825, 830. GCS done 250 points. Let's see. Oh my goodness, look at that. Gold into prior day low. Holy moly. See the higher time frame on gold. Wow, look. Look at that. Let me see the daily. Oh man. Look at the daily bar. Silver just for fun. Wow. Yeah, wow. Is everything getting sold today? Is let's see, just for I never look at this, but let's see. Yeah, Bitcoin's even getting sold. YM is lower. Russell's lower. ES, we know ES is lower. ES up thrust. That's a daily time frame up thrust right there. Little look above and just stuffed. Sell everything kind of day. Was there a headline that I missed? Or is this just some post FOMC? Let's see, Meta just reported. Yeah, Meta gap up and just sold. Who else reported? I think Softy, right? Softy gap down, sold. And who else did we have? Tesla. Tesla sold. Yeah. Is there a single green asset today? Oil. Oil. Let's see. Oil. Oh, yeah. Sheesh. Yeah, it's a rip on oil. Nice. Okay, so NASDAQ just right back into the lows, that 825, 830 area. I wanted to see price above. Did not break, right? How do I get back to CL? Give me NQ. There we go. So right back into the lows, a little look beneath the low. We got the next 30-minute bar starting. Is that just going to be a little spring? Is this the structure here for late morning? Is that it right there? NASDAQ down almost 2% today. Hmm. Hmm. It's based on volume. I'll give this some more time, but not my market this morning. Nasdaq fresh lows. Coming in at 25,700. That's that weekly volume point of control area. Or excuse me, monthly, not weekly. Monthly. Yeah, right here on the 30-minute. Think we were saying the hourlies. No, hourlies right here, yeah. Hourlies right through there. Problem is right now is you really want some higher time frame help. You want like a 15-minute to be helping you. 15-minute hammer or something of that nature would be very helpful. There's 700, 685. Right now, the thought process is, should I just call it, take the red morning? Just trying to decide on the likelihood of actually seeing a decent high probability setup. Pratik says, looks like. Kind of how I'm leaning as well. I mean, this is a high volume sell following a test of the all time high. So the main thing I wanted to see, and I would still want to see, is an intraday change of character, which would look like, here's our most recent highs, right? Basically, like, ideal scenario would be price breaking that area and then retesting gives you an entry like that. Pretty straightforward. Oh, did my screen freeze? What the heck? Let's see here. Yeah, it totally froze. There we go. There we go. All right, we're back. Yeah, so bounce, break 825, 830, retest. There's your entry, but this thing's just fresh lows, fresh lows. I've got a little data gap right there. What happened? Set the reload. So this really opens up, but beneath that 700 area, I'd be looking at, honestly, 560s, 550 down into here. It's right down into there. You have the 78% fib from this week, but more important, some structural support. There we go. Yeah, it's just nonstop lows. All right, I'm going to call it. I'm going to take the red morning. We had 2 attempts there, 3 attempts. this morning. Two losses, two full losses, and then one scratch trade. All part of my plan. Though I consider those trades with edge. They just did not work today. So we take the stops. We move on with our day. Not going to sit here and fight this action. And that's from someone who trades long, right? So got a downtrending day on big volume. Got to recognize what markets are going to be favorable for your system. And this is not favorable for me. Don't get me wrong, these are good conditions for a lot of traders. But for me personally, that ain't it. Yeah, PJ, tough market to be active in as a buyer. Yes, sir. But we just came off of like pretty much 6 or 7 days up, up, up. So sell day is going to come. It's going to come, right? But look at this, like up, 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 up into all-time high, into sell zone. And you get to sell. So it's all good. It's all good. Part of the game. Nothing wrong with some losses. It's part of the business. The tough part is, and where traders get in trouble, is after the losses, you want to kind of alleviate that red day, and that's when the revenge trading can start, right? That's when the emotions start to bubble up. Better off just to shut it down. Shut it down, try again tomorrow. All right, folks. We do have the trading mentorship group today in the Traders Think Tank after the close. That's a live session. So join us for that. I will see you all there. Otherwise, I'll see you tomorrow morning. Thanks for your time today and have a great rest of your day.